Hi, I'm Theresa Paganini. I'm the owner of Love Yourself Lean and author of the Feel Not Food Emotional Eating Workbook, and I welcome you to my Mastering Mindset tutorial. There are three main areas we need to focus on to overcome emotional eating and weight loss. I mean, if you're anything like me, you're absolutely sick of gaining and losing the same damn weight. And you've probably been doing this for years because you've focused on the food, dieting. Well, the food's not the problem. Actually, it's the solution. And so you've signed up for this Mastering Mindset tutorial because it makes sense to you that in order for you to have successful, sustainable weight loss, you've got to focus on something different than what you've been focusing on that has not worked so far. And so the three elements are your mind, your mouth, and your movement. And in this tutorial, we're going to focus on the mind. And the reason why I talk about this is because I've been through my own journey. I was you. I come from a long history of overweight women. Most of the women in my family are significantly overweight, and the men aren't, but the women are, and my mother was one of them. I grew up and she was at least 100 pounds overweight my entire life. And I ended up following in that same behavior. And I tried multiple diets, focused on food, ended up with a disordered eating pattern from anorexia to binge eating. It really didn't matter. As long as it was disordered, I felt comfortable with it. And I just constantly went like this in a super unhealthy pattern. And it was always because I was focused on food. And then I finally figured out, Theresa, food is not your problem. You see, I studied exercise and nutrition in college. I had all of the knowledge necessary to be in my best shape. And it was after college that I gained so much weight. It wasn't a knowledge problem. It's not a food problem. It's a mindset problem. It's a me problem. I was my greatest enemy. And once I figured out that I was the problem, and I owned it and I made the decision to change it, I was successful. And as you can see from my before and after picture, I lost 45 pounds. And no matter how much weight you have to lose, if you are willing to change your mindset first, then focus on what goes in your mouth, you will have a much greater chance of success at not only losing the weight, you've done that before, but at sustaining the weight loss forever. And that's what I want to teach you because I have been in your shoes and now I want to get you into mine. And so let's talk about the 7 steps there are to mind mastery. And the first one is adopting a forever mindset. So you've been on diets, I've been on diets, and they are all pretty much the same. They start when we are ready to lose weight, they stop when we hit our goal. And then what happens? Yeah, we go back to our old behaviors and gain all the weight back, and maybe some more. That's because it's a finite decision. When we decide to go on a diet, anything we're going to go on, we're going to go off. And so instead, we need to understand if we want to create a fantastic, beautiful, lean, fit body, whatever body you want, and we want to keep it, we need to act, think, speak in ways that we can do forever. The journey doesn't end. The destination, honestly, is death. And that sounds morbid, but if you want to feel your best, if you want to go to your deathbed living your best life, then you need to live your best life until that moment, which means you can't stop. So understand the very first thing you need to do is get out of your head, I can do this until. Okay, you can do this until death. How about that? That's a forever mindset. As I mentioned, diets have a start and stop date. So we do need to stop dieting. And that doesn't mean we're going to just eat whatever the hell we want. I am a believer in intuitive eating for certain people, but that's still in my mind doesn't mean eat whatever the hell you want. But what it does mean is stop chasing crazy fad diets. I've got an ad on Facebook, and it says, "How do you lose 20 pounds in a matter of hours?" And I can't tell you how many people click on that. That just goes to show you want a quick fix. It doesn't exist. You know how you lose 20 pounds in a matter of hours? You have a baby. That's it. And so we need to stop chasing the quick fix. The quick fix is the quick fail. So we need to actually change everything about us, not just the food, in a way that is sustainable, that works for us forever until death does us part. And so we need to figure out that whatever we do to hit our goal, right? So back 20 years ago, when I decided I wanted to weigh a certain amount and be a certain size, I had to make the commitment that when I hit that size, nothing would change. Whatever I was doing to get to that size, I was going to continue to do to stay at that size. A lot of people come to me and they're like, all right, Theresa, I can't wait to do this. And yep, don't worry, I'm willing to do that 80-20 when I get there. I hate to break it to you. 80-20 ain't going to cut it. 80-20, if you eat 5 meals a day, that means you can have one dirty meal a day. You're not going to maintain your ideal weight with one dirty meal a day. It's just not going to happen. And so there is no 80-20. You may be able to go to a 95-5, but that's about it. Whatever you decide to do to get to your goal, you must be willing to do to stay at your goal. Adopting a forever mindset. That's number one. Number two, we are living by a set of core beliefs that are not even ours. They are beliefs we learned as children. Maybe not even children, but as adults in our past experience. Maybe we were in a bad relationship that had us changing and adopting core beliefs that don't serve us. We've got to ferret those out. We've got to figure out what core beliefs are we living by that are holding us back from treating ourselves with the love, the respect, and the empowerment that is necessary to create the body that we want and live the life we deserve. And I'll give you an example. I have lived most of my life while I was overweight, and I still will battle. It's a forever journey. The core belief that I am not enough. That was my mother's belief, which is step two. Whose beliefs are these? My mother's belief was she was not enough. And I can tell you right now, my mother was always my hero. She is an amazing woman. She will give the shirt off of her back. She will take care of everyone around her. She is selfless. She's opinionated. She is strong. I love her. She's amazing. And yet she's not enough. Well, hell, if she's not enough, how the hell could I be enough? And therefore, I adopted this core belief. Oh my God, my hero is not enough being this amazing woman. I'm not sure what it takes to be enough, but obviously I can't be it. And so I lived my life that way. Well, if you live a life believing you're not enough, you have no capacity to succeed at anything because, well, you're not enough to succeed. You're not doing enough to succeed. You aren't enough to succeed. You don't have enough strength. You don't have enough willpower. You don't have enough smarts. And if that's your core belief system, how the hell are you supposed to lose the way you want to lose? You don't believe that you can. So I had to ferret that belief out. And I realized it wasn't even mine. I learned that from my mom. So now I have to figure, do I want to keep that belief or am I willing to let it go? Because it's not mine. And this is where I want to take a pause because this is huge. Timing is everything. I need you to stop and think through. Literally, on a piece of paper, start writing out what are the core beliefs that you struggle with. I'm not worthy. I'm not enough. I'm weak. I am a failure. These are core beliefs many of us live with. Whose are they? Am I willing to let them go? And don't be flippant with that question. Because in truth, those core beliefs, we have learned to use those to serve us and protect us from our fears. That's why we keep them. They protect us from failure. They protect us from success. They protect us because if I act as if I'm not enough, I've got a great excuse for always failing. And if I all of a sudden start acting like I'm enough and I still fail, what's my excuse then? That was how I used my core belief to serve me. And so before I can make that decision, am I willing to give it up? I really have to come to terms with how is it protecting me? And am I ready to give it up? And the answer may be no. And that's okay. You've been battling your weight for years, potentially decades. Give yourself some time. You honest to God don't need to lose that weight tomorrow, and you seriously won't. So give yourself time, because I promise you, once I've put this thought in your mind that these core beliefs are not yours and you can actually let them go, give your mind and your heart time to digest that. You will work your way towards a yes, I'm ready. It may just not be now. And if you force it, you are going to fail because you're not ready. And you're just validating your failure, your old core beliefs we're trying to put aside. So give yourself some time with compassion to work yourself to a space where you truly are ready to let those beliefs go. And then when you are ready to let those beliefs go, it is time to redefine them. And what that means is the core belief I lived with is I was not enough. And the reason why I was not enough is because I was never perfect. So I had to redefine that belief to say, I am absolutely enough just as I am, imperfect and all. And that felt really good. I like that belief. And so that is just one example. We generally have more than one core belief that's holding us back, but that is one, that it was a main belief of mine. Both I am not enough and I'm not worthy. And it all stemmed because I wasn't perfect, because that's what I learned from my mother. As great as she wasn't perfect. And therefore she did not deserve. So I did not deserve success, weight loss, a lean body, confidence, self respect, outward respect, an amazing life, money, a great career, a successful business. I didn't deserve. I wasn't enough. I wasn't worthy. And I changed that. I am absolutely worthy because I am enough just the way I am. So that's how you need to redefine those beliefs and really figure out, did that feel good? It may be uncomfortable because you don't believe it yet, but do you want to? And if you want to, you're on the right track. Now, once we've redefined our core beliefs, we've got to reframe our thoughts to match it. And the simple fact is, just because I want to believe I am worthy and enough, even in my imperfection, that doesn't mean I truly buy into it. And I believe that's where the motto or the phrase, fake it till you make it, came in. Because you want to believe this new belief. Well, we've got to prove to ourselves it's true. So we've got to live in it. We've got to practice it before we can truly buy into it. And how do we do that? Well, first thing we have to do is reframe our thoughts. Master the mind. So we're going to fake it till we make it. We are going to start changing our thought patterns into different thoughts that may not feel true right now. They may not feel authentic, but that doesn't mean we aren't going to force it until it is. So what that means is we got to change our internal dialogue, right? So if throughout your day, you're calling yourself an idiot, if you're calling yourself stupid, if you're like, well, of course you screwed that up. You screw everything up. Oh, of course that messed up. You know you're a failure. Hey, if all of this is going on in your head all day long, how the hell are you ever going to believe that you're enough? How are you going to treat yourself with love and respect with your words, with your thoughts, with your food, with your movement? You're not. That's why you're on the roller coaster. So you have to change your internal dialogue. And the first way to do that is to picture a big red stop sign, hear the sound every time one of those thoughts pops up. You're not just going to stop having the thoughts, but what we need to do is stop those thoughts in their tracks. When you realize you've just said, God, you're such an idiot, catch your attention, stop. Then reframe it. You made a mistake. No big deal. It's fixable. That's it. That's all you have to do. That's compassionate. Oops, I just made a mistake. No big deal. I can fix it. Oh, of course you messed up. You're a failure. Theresa, you're human. It's fine. Everybody makes mistakes. Fix it. That's it. That's what it means to reframe your thoughts. And you're switching it to match that new belief system that yes, you can make mistakes. It's fine. You're still enough. You're still worthy. You're good, right? That's what that means. And sometimes it really helps to give your negative thoughts an alter ego, right? Sometimes you really just want to say, shut up. but I want you treating yourself with love and respect. So I'm never going to say, Theresa, shut up. That is disrespectful to myself. That is not working towards my core belief that I am worthy of love and respect, right? Because that is disrespectful. But if I name my alter ego something else, then it separates me, like separating church and state. So you can name your alter ego the name of the person whose beliefs you have been living by, because those are the beliefs you need to end. Or you can use another name. If there's a certain name of someone who's always a bane of your existence, you can use that name. So for example, my core beliefs come from my mom. Well, my mom struggled with disordered eating. She struggled with low self-worth, and I love her. I have no desire to disrespect her either. So I don't use her name. But for some reason, Melissas are always a challenge in my life. So my alter ego, her name's Melissa. And when Melissa starts yakking in my head anything that supports the old belief system that I'm not enough, I will very happily say, Melissa, shut up. You don't serve me. Then I'm absolutely enough. Of course I can do that assignment. Of course I'm smart enough for that. Of course I can go after that bigger job move. Of course I can try that new hobby. Of course I'll say yes to that date. Whoop, right? Create that alter ego to separate, get the negativity away from you. You're the positive person. The alter ego is the negative, and anytime they start to talk, shut them up. Picture the sign, shut up, Melissa, or whomever. If your name is Melissa, I am so sorry. And then reframe it to something more positive that matches your new belief system. Now, the thoughts are the first step. Your actions are another. And it starts with your thoughts, but then you have to actively create empowering actions that match those thoughts, right? So if you've made a mistake, you hear, oh my God, you're so stupid. Shut up, Melissa. I'm not stupid. I'm human. It was a mistake. Let's fix it. Your action now is to act in accordance to that, right? So if you make a mistake towards someone, that's as simple as saying, hey, I am so sorry. My bad. Let me fix it, right? That is such an empowering action that follows the belief of I am enough. I am worthy of giving someone the gift of an apology and erasing the mistake and starting over. That's how our thoughts, our actions are empowering to match our thoughts. And I recommend creating a mantra. This is where we are going to come up with a phrase that reminds us to live according to our new belief system. And there's a little activity that I do with my clients that I used to do with myself, and I still do. And it's one that evolves. So there's a starting point, and it will evolve throughout your life. I lost my weight over 20 years ago, and I've been playing this game for 20 years, and it changes. Every time I play it, I come up with new words. But I asked myself, what are the 3 words I wish people would use to describe me? How do I want people to describe me in 3 words? And it's not how I think they would describe me. It's not how I would describe myself. How do I want to be described? And so right now, and this has changed 52 times in the 20 some odd years that I've been playing this game, but right now I want to be described as smart, successful, and sexy. That makes me feel really good about myself. And so what that means is I need to live that way. And I need to remind myself I am that way. So a mantra that I have adopted because I want to be described this way is I'm a smart, sexy, successful woman, and I deserve to live that way and feel that way. And so in the morning, I will look myself in the mirror. Yeah, let's go to that bullet. I will look myself in the mirror and I will say, Theresa, you are a smart, successful, sexy woman. You deserve to live that, feel that, and be that. Go do it. Now, I may not necessarily believe that yet, but I will because my words are my truth. And as long as I continue to tell myself that, I will get to the point where I believe that. And when I believe that, of course, I'm going to feel enough. Of course, I'm going to feel worthy. It totally falls in line with that belief system. And then every moment throughout the day, I am going to use that mantra like a magic wand. When I start getting down on myself, I'm going to use my mantra. When I start getting frustrated with myself, I'm going to use the mantra. Remember the fairy godmother in what, Cinderella, and she waved her magic wand and the fairy dust, and she switched from the rags and being like the stepdaughter to the princess? Well, that's what I want your mantra to do for you. Pick something you can buy into. If you look in the mirror right now and every time you look at yourself you go, ugh, gross. If you create a mantra of, I love my body, well, or I love how my body looks, you may not be able to buy into that. You may say that, I love how my body looks. Well, that's not a truth. That is not going to help you. You need to pick something that you can get behind. And so think about something that can easily be a truth for you, or that you want to be a truth for you, that you can say with conviction to yourself. Even if it starts out with saying, I want to love my body. Okay, start there, right? But create something empowering and positive that you can say all day long that absolutely supports your new core beliefs. And then you will soon begin to believe it. And then find ways to praise yourself, right? Acting in accordance to your new belief system that I am enough. Well, if I'm enough, when I do something well, I deserve praise. And so all my life, my mom used to say to me, good girl. And that just gave me the warm fuzzies. That was her affectionate, supportive way of giving me praise. And she always has said that same line. I am 45 years old. She still says, good girl. And I think it's hysterical because my man, he says, good girl. And some people would find that highly patronizing, especially coming from their mate. But I don't. It gives me the warm fuzzies. It's how I grew up. It's my history. It's got memories and feelings attached to it. And so I say that to myself all day long. I call that my praise phrase. And so when I do something really well, Theresa, good girl. For example, Theresa, you are creating a framework and a video to give to people that have struggled with disordered eating for so many years. And you are teaching them how to change their mindset to finally reach the goal that they deserve to create the life they've always wanted. Good girl. Good girl for being brave. Good girl for sharing your knowledge, for not being shy and holding it all to yourself. Good job. Give yourself praise. And that goes in line with actively owning your own success, which is the next step. Keep your goal top of mind. And your goal is not your weight loss. Your goal is not being a certain size. Your goal is to adopt this new core belief system that will allow you to treat yourself with love and respect. When you treat yourself with love and respect, you eat and you move with love and respect. And then the weight just falls off with very little issue. So keep your goal top of mind. Constantly think about the new core beliefs. And if you're constantly monitoring your thoughts, your goal stays top of mind. And then don't give yourself a choice. Don't decide, well, I just want to be lazy today. Or, you know what? This is a lot of effort. Screw it. I'm done. How many times have you said, screw it, I'm done, and that's worked in your favor? Never. Don't give yourself a choice. Stay on the path. Work on your thoughts. Work on your words. Work on your actions. And if you're struggling with that, pull out a book and start to journal. Journaling is a phenomenal tool when it comes to mindset. Figure out what's going on in your head. For those of us that struggle with disordered eating, with a disordered relationship with food, our minds are frequently chaotic. I give the analogy of popcorn. It's like there's a whole lot of popcorn bouncing around in there, and there's way too many thoughts going on for me to actually capture any kernel of corn and figure out what the hell am I feeling or thinking. It's chaotic. Calm your chaotic mind through a journal. You don't have to write sentences. You don't have to make sense. You don't have to worry about spelling. Get it out on paper. So that way you stop self-sabotaging. Do what's in your own best interests. Once again, you want a better life in a better body. That's a hell of a lot bigger than just losing some pounds. Keep your goal top of mind and don't give yourself a choice but to achieve it. And then see yourself as a hero rather than a victim. So many of us that struggle with disordered eating fall into that victim role. A big one I always hear is, why can't I eat whatever I want and have my ideal body? Well, I want you to stop And I want you to take a look around you. And I want you to name 10 people you know that eat whatever they want and have an ideal body, that have a body you want. I want you to name 10 people. I will give you every dollar I've ever earned if you can do that, because I bet you can't. Those people on Instagram that you're comparing yourself to falsely, they're usually in a gym. They work for that body. They are showing you how to meal prep. They work for that body. They are showing you the healthy meals that they eat. They work for that body. Very, very, very few people outside of college and younger get to eat whatever they want and not gain a pound. It's just not the way life is. So stop victimizing. Stop being like, oh, woe is me. I look at food and it goes straight to my hips. No, it doesn't. It doesn't. It's when you eat the food, it goes to your hips. Let's be real. Empower yourself. Empower yourself to understand I own my destiny. I own my thoughts. I own my belief system. I own my words and I own my actions. And sometimes I'm going to fail. And I'm going to go back to my mantra and understand failure is just a moment. And I can either identify as a failure or I can fail forward by deciding to learn from it. And when I decide to learn from it, I'm getting smarter, I'm getting stronger, I'm building character, and that makes me a hero. Actively own your success. And then be your biggest advocate. A few slides ago, we were talking about praising yourself, right? Well, because you want to act in accordance with your new beliefs. Be your biggest advocate. You own your own happiness. Happiness is your job. It's no one else's. It is not your spouse's job to make you happy. It is your job to make you happy. And so if you are not feeling loved, speak your truth. Go ask for what you need to be happy. If you want to get affection, you have to give affection. If you want to be told you are loved, you need to tell someone that they are loved. You need to speak your truth. If you are not being given the romance you need, ask for it. If your children are not giving the respect that you deserve, demand it. Your happiness is your job. Be your biggest advocate. You cannot depend on other people to do it for you. If you and I were to work together one-on-one and I became your coach, yes, I would absolutely be your advocate, but you better be a bigger advocate than me because I should not be in your life permanently. You, once you have the knowledge, the mindset, you should be able to be your biggest advocate. Learn yourself, know yourself, speak your truth, follow a core belief that matters to you. So that's it. Figure out your trigger patterns. So there are certain things that trigger my old core belief. So for me personally, looking in the mirror, because I have because I have struggled with disordered eating and a disordered relationship with food in my past, I struggle with body dysmorphia. I struggle with perfection thoughts. Those don't go away. Forever mindset. These things still exist. I just control them better. So when I look in the mirror, my old beliefs are triggered. I'm not enough. And so knowing that the mirror is a trigger, I can prepare for that. Because it's not like I can never look in a mirror again. Every single day of my life, as I get ready for work, for videos, for living my life, I'm going to be in the bathroom in front of a mirror. When I get dressed, and I dress to feel good in my body because that builds my confidence, I need to look in a mirror and say, oh yeah, no, that's flattering, right? So looking in a mirror is something I'm definitely going to do, which means I know that that is a pattern and it is a trigger. So what can I do to be my biggest advocate and prepare for that? Well, one of the first things I do in the day is look in the mirror when I go to the bathroom. So before I even get there, before I get out of bed, I say my mantra. Theresa, you're smart, you are successful, and you are a sexy woman. You deserve to feel that way. Go into that bathroom, look yourself in the face, and recognize everything that is good about you. And that you are enough, imperfect at all. Imperfect and all. See, I'm imperfect. I can't speak. I'm still worthy of giving you this video. So Understand your triggers, right? Maybe a compliment is your trigger. Maybe attention from the opposite sex is a trigger, right? There are so many things that can be a trigger. You've got to figure out your patterns so you can prepare for them. When you're prepared for them, that is how you are your advocate. You are being your own blanket, ensuring your own happiness and not allowing yourself into victim role. It's an empowerment position to be in. And then create opportunities to build yourself up. That is thinking positively about yourself. It is speaking positively about yourself. And it's putting yourself in positions to receive praise, to be successful, to give yourself praise. If you are given an assignment by your boss that is completely against everything that you're good at, maybe you ask for a mentor, or you ask for a partner, or you say, you know what, I am absolutely willing to stretch myself, but understand this is not my strength. I'm actually going to need a lot of hands-on coaching as I take on this assignment. That's being your biggest advocate. Look for opportunities to shine. Make sure you're saying thank you when you get compliments. Give yourself compliments. Pursue hobbies that you will enjoy, because when you do something with joy, you feel good about yourself. And that is putting yourself in a position to feel good. Be your greatest hero. Don't try to tear yourself down. And then this is the last one. It is time we make friends with food. Food is not our enemy. Food gives us the energy to live our best life. Food allows us to burn calories. It allows us to laugh and to smile and to take walks and to enjoy nature and to have a job. Food allows us to connect with other people. It is not our enemy. And once you start using food to love your body, all it is a language. You're speaking to your body through food. Like ASL, American Sign Language, is a way to communicate with somebody who is deaf. Food is your way of communicating with your body because it speaks a different language. Once you start treating it that way, all of a sudden food is your solution. You will need food to lose weight. I want you to stop giving food power it doesn't deserve. Food does not deserve to be your blanket. It does a security blanket. It does not deserve to be your distraction when you want to procrastinate. It doesn't get to be your comfort when you don't feel good. It doesn't get to be your distraction when you don't want to feel a super traumatic or strong emotion. It doesn't get to be your center celebration. Food is food. Does it mean it doesn't have its place in social interactions? No, of course, have it there, but it shouldn't be the main section. You shouldn't plan every date around the restaurant. You shouldn't plan every celebration around the food. You can focus on how many friends do I want to get together and who is going to celebrate with me and make me feel good about myself? How am I going to enjoy the world around me? And oh yeah, let's have some food. It shouldn't have a centralized role. And when it doesn't, you can allow yourself to eat it with joy. I am a foodie. I am not ashamed to say I love food. I love eating food. I love cooking food, smelling food, seeing food. I love it. I don't know if you have a Fry's where you live, but Fry's is a grocery store, and their 18-wheeler trucks are phenomenal advertising because their food is so vibrant and filled with gorgeous colors, and I love it. Every time I see that truck, I'm like, oh, I love those trucks because I love food and it's beautiful. And you need to get to that point. Food can be so delicious while still being good for you. Just because you want to lose weight doesn't mean food has to be tasteless and boring and super crazy restrictive. You don't have to live off of grilled chicken, steamed broccoli, and brown rice. If you love that, great. If you're like me and you don't love that, don't eat it. Find something that's yummier. Maybe I'm going to make a chicken fried rice. Now that sounds delicious, and I'm going to enjoy that. And I'm still going to maintain my weight because I'm going to eat it with joy. When you eat with joy, you don't feel the need to binge. We get confused between being full and being fulfilled. When you eat with joy, there's a fulfillment that doesn't require you to chase fullness. So if you allow yourself to actually eat with joy, You get to enjoy food and it's no longer your enemy. So, and that's a mindset. So that's your 7 steps to mind mastery. 1, forever mindset. Some of your core beliefs are going to try to trickle in till death do you part. Expect that. It's okay because you're going to continue to do the behaviors that put that old core belief in its place and allow you to live by the new beliefs by maintaining positive and empowering thoughts, actions, and words for the rest of your life. And then redefine those core beliefs. Understand what are those negative limiting beliefs you're living with now, whose are they, give them back. Redefine them in a way that makes you feel good. And then to allow yourself to truly start believing it, validate it through your thoughts, your words, and your actions. You won't believe it right up front. It doesn't make any sense for you to believe it. You've been living by its opposite for decades. So you have to prove to yourself that this new belief has merit. And that could take months. What I've observed through my clients and myself, it takes about 3 to 6 months to truly adopt and absorb that new belief system where it isn't such effort to think, act, and speak in a way that supports it. You need to actively own your success. Your success is your own. Stop victimizing. Don't give yourself excuses. Don't give yourself a choice. Remember your goal. Your goal is to live by this new belief system that makes you love and respect yourself so you can finally lose weight forever until death does you part, so you can live your best life. And then be your biggest advocate. Know yourself. Be your biggest expert. Get to know your triggers. Get to know your thought patterns. Get to know your habits. Get to know where you tend to fall down so you can pick yourself up and put yourself in position of hero. Make yourself feel good, look good. And when I say look good, yes, weight, but I'm also talking about in how you look in jobs you do, how you look in hobbies you do, in activities you could do. Put yourself in a position to be successful. And then make friends with food. That's a mindset. Nothing about food will change. It's how you look at food that changes how you use food. And so make friends with it. Understand food is just food. Any power it's got over you, you've given it. So take that power back. And when you follow these 7 steps and you focus on them every day, never let a day go by where it just is in the background. It should be in the foreground until it's your new core belief and you have these new habits where treating yourself with love and respect is the norm. When you do these 7 steps every single day for at least 3 to 6 months, it becomes your new forever mindset. And I promise you, you will start eating differently. You will start moving differently. You will start living differently. And you'll have a whole new lease on life in an amazing body.